Hi and welcome or welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So in not really a shock twist of events, I tested positive for COVID-19 this morning. If anyone was wondering, here's my test. As I said, it's not really a shock. My boyfriend tested positive on Sunday. We had spent basically the whole week together. Before that, we weren't together when he tested positive physically. He was in a flat. I was at convention. You will see this in my Yalk vlog if you've probably already seen it. So he then left, wiped down everything in the flat, and then I went back and packed up and went. So we were like renting a flat for Yalk. But obviously we have been in very close contact, we've been sharing a bed, things like that, so it is not a surprise that 3 days later I have tested positive. I have been actually kind of isolating the past 2 days anyway because I kind of thought this would happen, and just with there being a risk of this happening, I thought, you know, I wasn't at work the past 2 days, I may as well just stay in my room, stay away from my family. So I have been doing that anyway. I got up to go to work this morning on the condition I tested negative, and I tested positive. So I'm kind of glad I tested positive this morning before going to work so I didn't put any people at risk. So yeah, I thought I'd vlog it, basically. Here we are. I've tested positive this morning. I don't know how long I'm going to be isolating for, hopefully only the next kind of 5 or 6 days, but we will see. So I just kind of asked you guys whether I should vlog it, and you said yes on Instagram, so here I am. At the moment I must say I feel okay. You are going to see a lot of me without makeup, probably not very washed, things like that. As I said, I am in my family home. I live with my parents and my brother, so I am going to be staying in my room. It's kind of like a help and a hindrance at the same time because it does mean that I have people around me to bring me food and things like that. Which is great, but it does mean I am also just staying in my room because I don't want to give them COVID. So I am completely locked in this room essentially. I'm only going out to use the bathroom and I'm using a different toilet to them. I haven't begun to navigate going in the like full bathroom to have a shower or anything yet, but that'll be just a case of like wiping everything down after I use it, which is what I'm doing if I do leave the room, which is only to use the toilet at the moment. So yes, it's a both help and quite difficult obviously to navigate being in a room. You're going to be seeing a lot of this room in this vlog. I will only be seeing the inside of this room. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. It's over 2 years since the pandemic began and I have never had COVID before. I've been very, very lucky so far. But you know, it was probably going to get me at some point. And obviously having been to Yalk the past weekend, I think we all kind of risked this happening, so it's not really a shock. I do feel fine, to be honest. I woke up this morning and could feel there was something different. Like, it does feel like my throat is kind of scratchy, so I could kind of tell that there was something up there, but I don't feel that unwell. My head has been kind of on and off a bit like dozy. I don't really think I have like a headache or anything. I don't really feel like that bad in my head. I just feel a little bit kind of like, as you can probably tell, a bit out of it and stuff. But I'm okay, really. I feel pretty much fine. So I'm hoping that will stay the same. Obviously, I don't think I will. I do feel like I'm going to get worse. This is only day 1, but I guess we'll find out and you will find out in this vlog. So I thought, well, I'll probably try and use this time to do some reading. There is some other things I want to do, like edit videos, blog, and play some games. I have been playing Super Mario 64 this morning, which was a lot of fun, and that is a game I've had for the Switch on Super Mario 3D All-Stars for a long time, and I've never replayed it. The whole reason I got it was to replay Super Mario 64, which is a game I remember very fondly from my childhood, so I've played 100% of the first 2 levels on that this morning and played it for quite a while, which is fine because I've got time. I can do that. But yeah, I am going to actually start reading something in a bit, maybe not quite now, but in a little while, and that is Love Creekwood by Becky Albertalli. This will be a great one to kick off this vlog. It's very short, it's very quick, it's only just over 100 pages, and it is also emails. So this is basically emails from the world of Love, Simon, or Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. I think it's between Simon and Blue partly, and then between Abby and Leah, which is from Leah on the Offbeat, because they're all in the same universe. And I think there's some people maybe from the upside of Unrequited too. So there is a few different people in here. It's basically their communications with each other via email. Looking forward to reading it. As I said, very quick. Should be a good one to start this vlog with. But yeah, I think I'm gonna just like go on my laptop and do some stuff for the moment. I've been starting to do some drawing on there, so I'm finding that quite fun, and I'm hoping that will prove to be quite a good distraction over the next couple of days as well. Just working on drawing some Animal Crossing stuff, which is quite cool. But anyway, I will be reading this. I will be updating you as long as I don't feel too terrible. I have COVID. So yeah, welcome to this vlog. Let's see how it goes. I'm not gonna lie, it is hours later and I have just been drawing Animal Crossing villagers, which is fine. Like, I'm trying to appreciate that that's fine. I'm ill and I have COVID. I should do what I want. But I'm just about to read, and I've put this on the TV. So I finished this. Read the whole thing. It was very sweet. It was like 110 pages-ish. And it is just emails, and some of them are very short and stuff, so it was very easy and quick to get through. I've just read it in like the past not even an hour. And it was nice, and it was probably what I needed right now when I can't really focus on stuff. So yeah, that was cool. I'm glad I read it. It wasn't like amazing or like 5 stars. I mean, it is a collection of emails, so it is going to be a bit different and difficult to rate. My only complaint really is the fact that some of them were quite repetitive, especially with Simon and Bram like missing each other, which I completely understand. Like, I miss my boyfriend all the time. But it did feel like the emails were just like, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you. Which is, it's fine, but you know, it felt like there could have been more there. And I did kind of miss some like on-page stuff happening because it was emails. And the only other thing is the fact it did mention Harry Potter a few times, and I think it's probably just because this is a couple years old now, but it was kind of hard to tell. Like, I don't think that's something that Becky Albertalli would be okay with or mentioned in there in her books now, but I don't know. But yeah, I was kind of hoping for like a mention of Victor, even though I knew it was like probably not gonna happen, because I don't know how long the show has been in production at this point. I just wanted like a little mention of somebody called Victor to be like, oh, I love Victor. Which is the Disney spin-off show, if anyone's interested, which me and Mark are currently watching season 3 of, which is I think it's season 3, which is the latest season. It might be season 4, I've forgotten. And enjoying that one. It's been really good, actually. But anyway, I read this. I might actually buy an Ali Hazelwood novella to read next, which is on my TBR for this month as well. Just because, yeah, I'm enjoying the like short, easy reads. And it'd be cool to get another thing like read, maybe today. But I do need to edit my Yelp vlog and do some other stuff, so yeah. Gonna do that next, but I might have a quick look on my Kindle. I got my friend Charlotte to send me like a short summary of each Ali Hazelwood novella so I could pick one. I kind of want to go for the ice one. I can't remember what the names of any of them are. Kind of want to read the ice one. However, it's so hot right now, I feel like that's not really appropriate. Hi, it is day 2 of me having COVID and testing positive. Just a quick update before I like start on reading and stuff. I am feeling okay. Like, I'm a bit more, I don't know, I expected to wake up this morning and feel a lot worse, and I felt like I was getting worse last night, but I've woken up today and actually feel okay. I did manage to sleep quite a lot, but I also stayed up quite late last night because it's not like I'm going to work or anything, so you know. And I did actually do some reading quite late last night as well. Also, like at night it's a bit cooler at the moment, and it's a bit cooler today, which is helpful as well. But anyway, I am feeling okay. I feel like my head's a bit like a bit congested, and I'm getting a bit like my throat. It's really weird. I said to my dad earlier, like, I've never felt this kind of feeling in my throat before. It's not like scratchy. The best way I can describe it is like foamy, and I don't really know why that works for me, but that's what like comes to mind. It just feels a bit weird, and I am getting a bit like snotty, but it's like mainly cold symptoms. I definitely had worse colds, but that's so far. Like, this could get worse, and Mark has had it a lot worse so far. So hopefully my body is just kind of fighting it off. But we will see as the days go on. I think day 3 is meant to be quite a bad one for people. Mark had a really bad third day, so we'll see how tomorrow is as well. But anyway, enough about COVID. I did start reading Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood last night, which is the one I decided to go for, which is basically a novella in the STEM novellas, I think they're called. Or STEMinist novellas, I think is the actual name for them, which I get the impression is following like 3 different friends or something. And there's Under One Roof, and then there's like 2 others I just can't remember the names of right now. I went for Under One Roof mainly because the other one of them is on ice. I think I might have said this yesterday. One of them's set in like the Arctic, so it doesn't really feel right for this hot weather. The other one is set in a lift apparently, which Charlotte did tell me is like not scary, but I don't like lifts and I'm kind of terrified of them, and the characters get stuck in the lift, so I've like stayed away from that one for now. So the one I have left is Under One Roof, which Charlotte said is her least favourite, but she still enjoyed it. But I also thought this way around I can actually go from like Charlotte's least favourite to maybe her favourite, which is still cool. So I read 15% of that yesterday, well, late last night. I think it's about 110 pages-ish. But I'm enjoying it so far. Looking forward to seeing where it goes. So yeah, I'm only on chapter 2, so I'm not really that far through, but it's basically following a girl who's found out that I think it's like a friend or a mentor of some kind in her life has died and left her half of this house, and it's actually owned by this guy. Like, it's half owned by this guy and half owned by her. Now it's been left to her in a will. So she basically goes to this house and decides she's gonna live there, no matter what he says, because she owns half of it and it's like convenient for her or whatever in the location. So looking forward to seeing where it's going. I mean, I imagine it's going to be quite predictable, but I also imagine I'll enjoy it because I loved The Love Hypothesis so much. So yeah, that's what I'm going to kind of be reading today. I might do a bit now, and I'm just gonna, I haven't got a Fitbit on. I'm gonna call a friend in a bit and have a catch up with him, so that'll be nice. So yeah, I'm gonna maybe read a bit now, call Andrew. I have been drawing again this morning on my laptop, which has been a good focus for me at the moment. And yeah, day 2 of testing positive for COVID and isolating. Something I forgot to say on that clip. Obviously I'm spending a lot of time in this room right now, like 100% of the time in this room. Did have a shower this morning though, which was good. But I've been looking at these shelves a lot, obviously, because I'm usually sat facing them, and I keep having like urges to rearrange them. Not like rearrange them massively, just rearrange the books on each shelf. But as you can see, like, these paperback shelves, they're mainly contemporary on this side and they're mainly fantasy on that side, but there is some crossover. And the hardback shelves are not going to change because they are like, they fit books on them, if that makes sense. Like, they're only there because they fit books on them. I'm not going to start moving them around. I'm not going to move the actual shelves around, especially because the middle one is fixed, which makes it quite difficult. So they are going to have to stay that way because this prioritises the space I have. However, I'm thinking I might shuffle some stuff around because, like, they don't, the paperback shelves, like the hardbacks look lovely, the paperbacks just don't look amazing, and they have become quite mixed. Like this shelf here ended up like as a dumping ground for new books I had. So I am thinking I might kind of rearrange just like the paperback ones and maybe the top ones and just shuffle like books between this bookcase and that bookcase, so I have more of a distinction between contemporary on this side and fantasy on this side. Like it's not all going to be contemporary because these two hardbacks are predominantly fantasy, if not all fantasy, because I'm mainly Cassandra Clare. But at least like the paperbacks might be more in sections and might look a bit better, because they do, some of them look a bit muddled up right now. These are better, but I might do that at some point. If I do, I'll put it in this vlog as like a, what is it called, time lapse, so you can see it. But yeah, I might do that over the next few days while I'm in this room. Okay, so I did it. I reorganised my shelves. It may have been a bit too much for me, honestly, because my back is so sore now. And I've realised that maybe I feel okay because I have literally been lounging in bed every day. But anyway, I thought I'd give you a quick little tour of what I've done. Not that much has changed, but it's mainly just been like shuffling what's on like these shelves that I can fit other things on. So I put my Heartstopper books up there with my Heartstopper Fairy Loots that were already up there, and I added the Sad Ghost Club 1 and 2, and then this shelf has become predominantly adult fiction, fantasy, not fantasy, fiction, and like a few random, there's some adult there, and then goes into like awkwardly sized YA hardbacks, paperbacks. This one is one I'm much happier with and was one of the shelves I was just like fed up with and really wanted to change, and this is now I think pretty much all contemporary YA, I think. And then this one is the same. There is a few other fantasy books behind here because this was always going to stay like it is. because it's with my Cassie hardbacks that can't be moved because they don't fit anywhere else. So that one I just thought I'd just leave fantasy. So those two are completely the same. This one's pretty much the same because it's always kind of, well, for a while it's just been like YA, contemporary and manga, and a random light novel on the end. So I've just kind of left that as it is. This one again, pretty much the same. It's got a few middle grade contemporaries as well at the front. And then this one I'm pretty happy with this one. Unfortunately, like, because I do have a bit of kind of stuff that doesn't fit on the shelf, I do have to put these here. But they do still look really pretty and I am quite happy with the shelf. It just needs to be like, I need more space for those kind of books. Like, I love the way these like short YA hardbacks look, the contemporaries, they look so cute together, but I just don't have enough space where they all fit together, so they're just there. And then over on the other shelf over here, the top is completely the same. This one I just moved some of the stuff from the top of that one, that shelf there, over here, so like my fantasy awkwardly sized paperbacks and hardbacks have gone on with like fantasy ones that are already here. There is a tiny gap, but the Hedge Witch, annoyingly, which is a Threadneedle novella, is like so much shorter, so I can't bring myself to leave it in there, in that gap, so it's up there. That one exactly the same, this one's exactly the same, this one's pretty much the same, so it's like YA fantasy, completely. There's a gap because of the Accursed Dark and Lonely series, which I'm currently reading, is out on my TBR pile. So yeah, that's like entirely sci-fi, fantasy, YA. Now I have split authors up, so like if so Bridget Camera has a contemporary that I have, or has a few contemporaries. I own one of them, it's on the other shelf now. If they're like completely different genres, or they like the sizing just doesn't work, I've got like Rainbow Rowell books all over the place because Carry On's up there. And then most of hers are over there, but then I also have like graphic novels down there, so you know, it makes no sense. This shelf's the same, this shelf's pretty much the same. It's like Sarah J Maas and then YA fantasy, and then this one is adult fantasy and sci-fi, and there's a random horror, and then goes into middle grade. And then this one at the bottom is predominantly fantasy YA. There is a few others that don't necessarily fit in here, like So Many Beginnings, but it looks so good next to Cemetery Boys that I've just left it there. And at the end there's like a couple of graphic novels, paper towns, and Jane Eyre, because they just don't fit anywhere else, and they're fine, like it's fine that they're there. So yeah, that's what they look like now. I wouldn't say like I'm 100% happy with them, but like I'm happier with them than I was before, especially like that shelf up there. I guess because I look at it so much because it's like near my TV and stuff, I just like was fed up of that shelf being kind of like the dumping ground shelf. I don't feel like I'm ever going to be happy with the bottom ones because they're just awkward sizes. And also like I don't see them that much, so I'm also like not happy with them because of that, if that makes sense. But they look pretty. I'm now gonna sit and be a potato for the rest of the day because that really took it out of me more than I expected and has made me realise I need to rest more, like I have been doing for the past like 3 or 4 days. Also, I finished Under One Roof, the Ali Hazelwood novella that I was reading last night, and I must say I really enjoyed it. I was reading until like 2 in the morning because I started reading again at like 1 o'clock-ish, and then I wanted to finish it. And the book actually ended at 87%, and I was like, what? I've paid for this book and I got 87% out of it. And the rest, the other 13% was just like Love on the Brain, which comes out probably in a couple of weeks' time. Which is her upcoming release, but that was a bit annoying. But I must say, I did really enjoy it. I really liked the characters. I quite liked the concept. And yeah, it was quite good for a novella that was probably turned out to be like less than 100 pages because 13% of it was Love on the Brain. I did really enjoy it and it kept me very gripped, and I felt like towards the end I was like the same as I was at the end of The Love Hypothesis. I just wanted to read on and finish it and see where it was going. Although they are quite predictable, you kind of know that it's gonna like end okay, their romances. But I did really like it. It was good. I wouldn't say I'm going to give it 5 stars just because with the space that it had, I feel like sometimes things came out of the blue a little bit. And because it's like non-linear, so it started with them, it actually starts with them getting together. And then it goes back to when like she moved into the house, and it goes back to kind of every couple of weeks or month or so, and their like progression, and it's basically just them getting to know each other and becoming friends, and him kind of like softening and being really sweet and stuff, which I like, and it's very kind of like, as far as I'm aware, typical of Ali Hazelwood. She has this kind of like grumpy sunshine trope with the guys in the books, which is very sweet and I like reading about. But it was a bit like they started with that, and then because it went back, and by the time we actually jumped back into like them getting together, I was a bit like, where did this come from? It seemed really random, and I don't know if it's because I didn't pay enough attention at the start, like maybe something happened that made that happen. I don't really know. It was weird. It was weird. There was also this thing that like, I'm gonna say this is a spoiler, so if you haven't read this, I'll put a timestamp to when I stop talking about this on the screen now if you want to skip ahead. But this is for Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood, which is one of her novellas. But spoiler, the guy in this book, in this novella, so he's demisexual, and it does talk, like, I don't think it ever says the word demisexual, but like the way he acts and he talks about sex means like basically he comes across like he's demisexual. It never actually says that he's a virgin, but I got the impression that he had little to no experience, and that's kind of discussed in the book. He is very good at sex, and like I don't feel like that's entirely realistic of like somebody's first time for anybody really, so that was like a little bit unrealistic as well. But yeah, spoiler over. That's all I really wanted to say about this. Don't know why I'm still holding up my blank Kindle. But yes, anyway, I finished that. I did enjoy it. It was really sweet. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I just feel like sometimes things were a bit out of the blue because of the non-linearness like of it and stuff. But I did really enjoy it. So I finished that one. I'm not sure what to read next because I do have a few books I need to read for a deadline at the end of the month for something to do with work. So I think I'm gonna have to, well, I think I'm gonna start one of those. I do feel like Mina and the Undead is becoming House of Sky and Breath, where I just read like the start of it and I'm now leaving it forever because I have other things to read that I like need to read more. But I will get back to Mina and the Undead at some point, but I think I'll probably start one of those books next. We will see. Hi, it's Monday, I don't know what date it is. I literally have no idea what day it is today. Here's my Fitbit that I haven't put on in like a week's time. It's Monday the 18th of July. I am not quite testing negative, but I am like almost testing negative for COVID. Hopefully tomorrow I test negative. I had a very faint positive line yesterday and today. So yeah, it's also been more than 5 days now since, or about 5 days since I started isolating and tested positive for the first time. So I am kind of being still cautious and still in my room like most of the time, but then kind of cautiously going around the house and seeing my family from a distance, but I'm not like going out anywhere yet. But yes, hopefully I'm not contagious. I'm also feeling fine now, so that's good. I've had like a couple of coughing fits today, but I'm honestly, my throat's been fine. I felt pretty good, like okay throughout having COVID. I didn't feel too bad. I've had worse colds definitely where I felt like I couldn't get out of bed, but yeah, so I feel like I did quite well really with it. It just felt like, yeah, a couple of days of like headache, migraine type pressure in my head, but I still got on and did things as much as I could, or like played games and read and stuff, so that was, yeah, okay to deal with. Like a little bit snotty but not really that bad, and then like achy on Friday, especially really achy, but then really I've been pretty much okay, and I'm still just like, I've got a little tickle but I'm not really coughing, so that's good. But anyway, I did have a couple of days where I didn't really read that much. I read Love Creekwood, and then I read Under One Roof, and then I didn't really read for a few days because I just didn't have motivation to, and I've been trying to kind of say to myself, like, just do what you want to do because you have COVID, it's okay. So I did kind of just listen to that and not read for a few days, but I did then feel some motivation yesterday to pick up a book, and I started How High We Go in the Dark, and this is a like science fiction fantasy collection of short stories, which I didn't expect. I thought this was one continuous thing with like long chapters, but it's actually like a collection of short stories that are all kind of interlinked and in the same world. It is incredibly sad so far. I've read like 3 or 4 stories. I'm on page 82. This isn't the longest book in the world, it's like under 300 pages. So I'm over a quarter of the way through already, but yes, this is very, very sad. The first story was about a doctor who goes to the Arctic Circle to continue the research of his recently deceased daughter, and is also reading her diaries and trying to understand kind of things about her and her life. The second story was about somebody who is an aspiring comedian and is employed by a theme park for terminally ill children, where they basically go to die on a ride, which was also, as you can tell, very sad. And then the third one I read, which is I think where the title of this book actually comes from, was somebody who was like ill. So effectively in this whole book, I think there is this virus that's like going around the world like plague. Great for reading in COVID times and when you have COVID. But yeah, so they're basically like, that's kind of a feature of all of the stories, and this plague. So the third one is like following this person who has this like virus or plague or whatever and is in a hospital and is essentially going towards the light. I can only kind of like describe it as. The next one I have to read is it's called Pig Son, and is about a doctor who loses his son to the virus, the plague thing, and then makes a pig his son, or like makes the pig speak so it can be his son, or stand in for his son. Very weird, very dark. I must say I quite enjoy it. Like it's really good. It's really well written, and it's really like it gets to me. It's quite emotional, and I feel like it's just, yeah, it's really good. I really, really liked the theme park story. That one really touched me, so I feel like there is something here that I'm gonna really get to me and I'm gonna really enjoy, even though they are really, really sad. I really like the kind of concept of some of them. So yeah, if you're like a fan of really dark, sad, sci-fi, futuristic, maybe this one's for you. I'm weirdly enjoying it, which I didn't expect. It's also easier to read than I expected. I don't know why I expected it to be quite literary, so that's a good thing as well. But that's what I'm reading right now. Don't know when I'm gonna end this vlog, maybe tomorrow. Don't really know, because I'm just like carrying on with it now. Maybe I should end it here and start another vlog, because I'm basically over COVID now. I'm hoping I'll test negative tomorrow, so maybe I'll keep this vlog going and then see if we test negative tomorrow. Fingers crossed, because my graduation is in 2 days time. Trying not to stress or be nervous about that, but I'm stressing and I'm nervous about that. Yay. It is so hot. Today is the hottest year in the UK on record. We hit 40 degrees Celsius today, and it's like 38, 39 here. It is very, very hot. I'm not going to say much more because I'm sure everyone's sick of seeing about how hot the UK is and how we can't deal with the heat and the roads are melting and whatever the hell. It's hard. But I'm lucky that I'm in a position where I don't have to do anything in this heat. And I'm not at work and stuff. If I was at work, I'd have aircon, but that's fine. You know, it's good that I can just like not do anything and just wallow in the heat instead. But I thought I would come on and end the vlog. I have actually read a little bit more of this. I've only read 20 pages more, so I am 100 pages in now. But yeah, I just don't know when to end this vlog, and I feel like I'm coming to the end of my like COVID isolation period now, which is kind of what the point of this vlog was, so it's probably about time that I just finish this vlog up, really, because yeah, I am feeling fine now, pretty much over it, so yeah, that is good. But yes, I have basically read Love Creekwood, Under One Roof, and this book. Maybe not quite as many as I wanted to during isolation, but honestly, it's fine. It's just one of those things that's like, I've had COVID, you know? I think it's okay if I kind of not do as much for a while. And I have also done some drawing, which has been fun. I've played some games, which has been fun. I've had like a lot of games updates, phone calls with friends as well, which has been really nice. So yeah, it's been okay, and I've had like really kind of mild symptoms in comparison to most people, and yeah, I'm getting over it, so it's a good thing. So yeah, I'm glad that I'm kind of like coming out the other side of this now. I hope you've enjoyed watching this vlog. I really don't feel like there's been much in it or much happening, so I hope it's not been too much boring for you guys. I'm sorry that I couldn't make it more of like a fun challenge vlog where I, you know, read loads of books or got through loads of stuff. You know, it's just not the way that my brain was working. I had a few days there where I just didn't want to read that much, so that's fine. You know, it's just one of those things. So yes, I'm gonna head off. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you in another one where I will not have COVID, not be in isolation.